Welcome to District Divided, everybody. I'm Amit Singh. Joining me is Matt Regan, Spencer Brudig, LC, Lautaro Cabrera, and Kadeen Wiggins, aka K. It is good to see you all. And for those that are new to this podcast, we are a DC sports podcast. That's our primary focus, but we talk about other stuff too. Today, we're going to be talking about what sport should allow fighting, for example. We're also going to be talking about, of course, DC sports, but then also the gas shortage a little bit. Kadeen, that may get thrown to you. You seem to have had quite the experience with that. But we always start with the State of the Union, your DC sports wraparound coverage segment. So if that's something that doesn't necessarily interest you, we got time codes at the bottom of this video. So feel free to skip along, see what chapters you're interested in, and just enjoy the video. But for now, Kadeen, please kick us off. What the heck happened with your experience with this gas shortage?
So I left DC this afternoon, trying to head back here to lovely Baltimore, and was driving through upper northwest Washington, D.C., and there's no gas at any of the gas stations. And as I pulled in Montgomery County, Maryland, also saw there's no fucking gas at the goddamn gas stations. And all I could think of was all the Twitter and the Facebook posts of a bunch of fucking Trump supporters goddamn trying to blame the shit on Biden. So they fucking went in plastic bags with gas, you piece of shit. What is wrong with y'all? People gotta go places. Y'all just hoard the shit. Hi. All right. So it's like I finally did find a place near Wheaton where there was two gas stations that looked like they did have gas, and it the line was wrapped all the way around the block, and I'm sitting there, and then of course I see a guy in a silver Lexus SUV, and sure enough, he got that Trump sticker in the back of the goddamn truck, and he's trying to cut in the goddamn lot. You know what? People, the same motherfuckers that are out there that hoarded toilet paper are the same assholes right now that are hoarding gas. Look, everybody knows the story about what's happening with the gas pipeline, right? Hackers did blah, blah, blah. They cut off the pipeline, and that's all you need to do. Look, we'd be fine if it wasn't for you cocksuckers out here hoarding all this shit for no goddamn reason other than to inconvenience people or to be able to blame the Biden administration that shit's going bad. And I ain't got no patience for it. So if I see anybody doing that shit as I'm driving along, I ain't going to say what I'm going to do because that'd be premeditated right here because this is evidence. But you shouldn't if you're in my presence. Just let that be known.
Amen.
And isn't it just going back to normal this weekend?
They turned the pipeline back on. It's fine. It's fine.
Did you see the photos of those families that are just hoarding gas and
yeah,
various containers? It's absolutely insane.
It really is disgraceful, honestly. But just if any of you guys want gas, I do have a big drum.
Yeah, how many did you pick up?
Yeah,
I just got $20 a gallon.
Kadeen, I've got 200 gallons in the back. Easy fill up, bud.
I'm gonna burn your house down with you.
How much per gallon?
With the gasoline.
With the gasoline, beautiful thing.
My experience with it, we were driving back from the Shenandoah Valley yesterday, and we kind of totally forgot. But we were in need of gas, and we pull into a Wawa. Shout out Wawa, and we literally it was a 4-person line, but it was going slow. People were doing the side canisters. Why are people there's not really a gas shortage. It's just an artificial gas shortage that people are doing. You see the side gallons, and we literally where our food, ate, got out of there, and but I'm gonna put my girlfriend on a blast, Lena. We literally got to the front, we're the second car, and she's like, "Do you think we should go?" I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me? We just waited 25 fucking minutes. Why would we go now?" She's like, "There's probably a gas station that's closer." The person in front of us was taking a super long time, but at that point, you got to bite the bullet. Especially
take it.
Do apologize, sir, because I was, dude. It gets Kadeen. You probably know it. It gets you in a state of mind where you're ready to go. You're ready to go with the next person you see.
But
glad I have a full tank. I was just glad I had a full tank when I got it.
I also gotta ask, why the fuck do people have 4x4, just gigantic trucks, 5.9 liter engines, which is a fucking hog.
Only in America.
Wait, hold on.
Whoa, you're coming at. You're coming at.
Why do you need that
people
truck
now?
Why do you need that truck in a city like Washington, D.C.? You're not.
What about moving your couch? You might need to move a couch every year.
How often?
Sometime you'll need to.
Look, all that stuff
Just
inside your
be
apartment,
prepared.
all that stuff inside your place right now. Trucks got it there, okay? I want you to know that's the lifeline of America's trucks, okay?
Wait,
Personal trucks, big trucks, all kinds of trucks, baby.
What do you drive, Kadeen? Kadeen, what do you drive?
Well, I traded in the truck for a Passat R-Line.
He upgraded.
But you're still a truck person. You're still a truck person at heart.
I'm still a truck guy. Immediately. I'm still a truck guy. Like I have my F-150. I'm a Jeep guy at heart, really. But I just got rid of my Grand Cherokee a couple years ago. But
okay.
I'm a Passat guy. You know.
Yeah.
German made.
Hey, Volkswagen. I'm a GTI guy.
I love this. I just don't understand why people have 14 miles per gallon gigantic trucks.
Have you ever driven?
If you have to ask,
have you ever driven like a big F-250, F-350?
No, I never felt the need.
When
you know where I'm going with that.
Look, all right, okay, all right. My penis is small. Let it go, okay? But when you
that is where I was going.
You realize, all right? When you get your truck and you drive to the gun range and you got your gun and you.
Son of a bitch.
That's a masculine.
Kadeen, I just want to call you out. Big shout out. You know, I've always found it to be hysterical. The self-deprecation small penis joke. It's just so much funnier than anything else. You know, just if you're able to have the confidence to be like, you know, it's just because I have a small penis. Everyone knows that that's not true because you said it, or it's so funny because it is true. It's just a great
funny anyway.
So we're talking. It's a win-win. But hey, anyway, let's.
They're never disappointed.
Let's move away from Kadeen's potentially small penis and let's get to some sports, shall we?
This is a bit now.
Let's get into similar to the popcorn with ranch seasoning on it. Anyway, we'll get
to
the
State a bit. That's true.
Of the union now, your DC Sports wraparound coverage segment where we do cover ranch seasoned popcorn, but we begin with the Washington Wizards. Russell Westbrook did it. 182 career triple doubles. No one thought that was going to be broken.
They said it was never going to be done.
They said it was never going to be done, and Russell Wilson just turned it on in the latter half of his career. Now, unfortunately, it was in a loss to the Atlanta Hawks. We lost back-to-back games to the Atlanta Hawks, and now we are in 10th place with just 2 games to go in the regular season. But all we need is the Bulls to lose 1 game or for the Wizards to win 1 game, and then they are in the play-in game. Now, there's no word on if Bradley Beal is coming back. Spencer, I have a question for you, though. Let's say that the Wizards do make the play-in. The other teams would be Boston, Charlotte, Indiana. Do you like the Wizards' chances to be able to grab the 8th seed?
Oh, 100%. I think the Wizards, their high-powered offense, Russell Westbrook is the man right now. Is one of the coolest players, maybe the coolest guy in DC per our last episode. I think that I love their chances. I'm all in on the Wizards to get the 8th.
Everyone else in agreement
there?
Is
insane. I think that awesome. I think if they can continue outputting the offense that they can, I would only worry with it being a 1 game, right? I would worry that having an off night on offense, like the Wizards can't defend for shit. So like having a bit of an off night on offense, like that's game over. Because you can't rely on your defense. They can't do it. So that's my only worry being 1 game. But yeah, I agree. I think that the chances are pretty good with those teams.
What about hey, I didn't look at the injury report, but is there any chance that Bradley Beal's out for the playoffs?
You did your research this week, dude. Congratulations. Yeah, Bradley Beal's awesome, isn't he? Dude, that's so good.
He knows who Brad is. Who's Brad?
So there is a chance.
Call him Bradley Beal.
There is a chance. Yeah, he knows who Bradley is. He doesn't know who Brad is.
Don't try to get yourself out of that. Context clues, motherfucker.
There is a chance Beal comes back. But honestly, if the Bulls end up losing tonight to the Toronto Raptors, they may just rest him for that play-in tournament. So we'll see. It seems like a minor injury, but we don't have any official word yet. So we'll see what happens there.
The other thing that kind of scared me though with the last couple of games with Atlanta was that all ghost of like not finishing games just came back. And I don't know if that's because Brad wasn't there, if it was just a coincidence, but like that idea that the Wizards have a game in the bag and just completely throw it away in the 4th quarter was something that we were getting away from. That's how we got to the 10th place when we were in the tournament. And seeing that happen again was like, oh, not this again, man. So
we also
I hope it was
go ahead.
Yeah. No, I hope that was just like, that happened tonight. It's not. That doesn't mean that we're back to being so inconsistent.
We lucked into an amazing trade getting Daniel Gafford from the Chicago Bulls. He plays 17 minutes. He's amazing in those 17 minutes, and he just doesn't really play in the 4th quarter. I feel like Daniel Gafford, if you're listening to this, just sub yourself in. Every single Wizards fan is totally fine with that. If Scott Brooks pulls you back, we already dislike the guy. It's not gonna do anything. Just check yourself in the game. You're the star, not him. Please We need you to play more.
He just walks to the bench.
Who's going to say no? That's a power move, and all the fans are behind him. I think it makes sense. If I'm Daniel Gafford, checking myself in the game, who says no? Oh, we want to see Alex Len some more? No, we know Daniel Gafford is the guy. He's the guy. Anyway, moving on, we're going to talk about the Washington Nationals. What a week to forget. 2-4 this past week. They played the New York Yankees and Philadelphia Phillies, lost both the series to them, though they did win today 5-1. And we are now firmly in last place in the NL East. That's starting to take form there. Up next, a 7-game road trip, 3 games in Arizona to take on the Diamondbacks and 4 in Chicago to play the Cubs. Those games can be seen on Masson. The Diamondbacks and Cubs suck. This is a golden opportunity to win some games for our Washington Nationals. Now, skipping forward to the Washington football team, we released tight end Marcus Baugh from the team. You know a tight end that is still on the team? Samis Reyes, future Hall of Famer, future Canton man himself. I'm telling you what,
already.
They love this guy. That's what that move tells me. They love Samis Reyes. I can't wait to see him officially play for the team. The team also signed former Bears left tackle Charles Leno to a 1-year, $5 million deal. He's expected to be the starter, but it's probably going to be a competition. Cornelius Lucas threw a bit of a fit on Twitter. He had a good season last season. Charles Leno also had a decent one, so we'll see what happens there. And finally, the schedule was officially released on Wednesday, and we open up with the LA Chargers at home week 1. Kadeen, after we trade for Aaron Rodgers, what is our record going to be?
16-0, and then Aaron throws 4 interceptions in a playoff game, and then we're back to square one because he doesn't know what to do when the team actually works around him. The
17-0, you mean, right? It's an extra game this year.
Oh, right, because the league completely screwed everything up by putting the 17th game. Gotcha.
Yep.
Got all about that.
What happened? They added a game?
They added a game.
Idiots.
They took away one preseason game. They added another regular season game.
Does it make more money?
Yes, it would, because that would fill up the stands, and they were like, look, players will pay you a bit more too.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah. It's a total shit show. Kadeen, if we didn't trade for Aaron Rodgers, we will, but if we didn't, and it's Ryan Fitzpatrick or Taylor Heineke, what is our record?
The schedule's it's a tough one. So you start off
Initial thoughts.
Initial thoughts. I think we're above 500. I think that the last 5 games being back-to-back divisional games puts us in a pretty spot, potentially, depending on how the season's going. But I think that right there at the end, it gives an opportunity to potentially beat up on the rest of the NFC East. I can easily see us over 500.
Yeah. Well, we have back-to-back
the disagreement.
To-back divisional games. 5 straight divisional games to end the season. First time that has happened in 2002. Matt, you got some thoughts? It's not like the Lions are going to be any good.
You're hearing trolling. There's no sage. There's nothing good is coming out of what he's about to say. All you're hearing is about.
I'm not trolling. That's not trolling. That's not trolling. I'm not trolling.
The way you
First of all, I'll hear you take. You guys obviously take shots to the Lions because you're insecure about your own position as a good football team. Lions, like I said, we know we suck. It's a rebuilding year. We're on the up and up. Dan Campbell, great coach, great coach for Detroit. Anyways, it is
coached a game.
It's still, he's just a great coach.
He's just a great guy.
He's a great guy. Works hard, loves the game. So I would just say it's a tough schedule. Like Saints aren't who they were, without Drew Brees. We had the Chiefs. You got the misread that. They don't have the Patriots. Packers, Bucks. So in Broncos, like let's say they pick up Aaron Rodgers, there's just the non-divisional games are going to be tough. And I'm feeling good about my long ago pick of Washington football team winning no more than 7 games.
All right.
Yikes.
Well,
and there is money. There is money on that.
There is
a singular dollar.
Lots of money.
With more than one person. So there's multiple dollars on the line in this bet. Mega dollar bet there. Let's move on to DC United. Another week, another road loss. This time to Columbus, 3-1 last Saturday. That makes them 0-3 on the road, 1-3 on the season. The good news for the team is that they are back at home tonight against the Chicago Fire at 8 p.m. You can see that game on ESPN+. The Chicago Fire below. They are actually below DC United in the standings. So once again, another golden opportunity for our boys.
I think you just cursed him.
Yeah, I wouldn't say we're gonna revisit this in 1 week because you said the Arizona whatever baseball team sucks. You said the Chicago team sucks. Now I'm getting a feeling we're gonna get trampled in every single one of those 4 games.
Hey, feel free to hedge, feel free to fade everything I say here. What are you gonna say, Matt?
I will be in attendance at the DC United game. And,
okay.
Amit, let me know if you want me to bring you any popcorn.
Can you do something while they put you on camera?
So on the subject of ranch season popcorn, I checked with my guys that we have the season tickets together. We did have ranch season popcorn. I clearly don't seem to remember it. God. But so it wasn't memorable.
That fact is not a surprise to anyone. I knew it. I saw it in the flesh. How do you feel? How do you feel though now that you know it's validated?
And that you've officially announced to the world. It's just
that's a big confession, man.
Hey, listen, I thought about just withholding the information. I thought it might just be better off to just keep it unsaid. Yeah. But being the main host of this show, I thought it was my responsibility to bring it up and to. We are a high integrity show.
You don't get credit for admitting to something we already knew was true. It just fits your profile too much. I mean, ranch flavored popcorn. You just seem like the kind of guy.
We should put that.
Like you got a serial killer says, "Yeah, I killed those guys." You give him a pat on the back? No, you're still a murderer.
You know what would be cool is if we all just sort of went to a game together and got it and just sort of figured out.
Nah, that wouldn't be cool. That would not be. Don't bring us down to your level, dude.
That mainstream, man.
Listen, but the game Matt's going to be at is on Sunday at 8 p.m. against Orlando City. That is the one, right, Matt? That you're going to be going to Sunday?
That is correct.
Okay, so we are playing Orlando City. Orlando City is doing better. They have 1 win and 3 draws on the season. Paul Arriola is probably going to be back for DC United. Same with Kevin Paredes, the boy wonder for the team, though Eric Sorga, our forward, is going to miss a few weeks since he got hurt in training. Moving to women's basketball, the Washington Mystics are back. The WNBA celebrating its 25th season. Season starts on Saturday for the team where we play against the Chicago Sky. That's at 1 p.m. on ABC. Talk about an audience, ABC. And we have another home game on Tuesday against the Phoenix Mercury at 8 p.m. on ESPN2. Both games, as I'd said, at home at St. Elizabeth's Entertainment and Sports Arena. The floor for this team, I was reading up on the expectations, the floor for this team is the playoffs. And the ceiling is a championship. So if you want to just jump on a bandwagon and be like, yeah, I was there, jump on the Mystics. They are really, really talented. They made some nice offseason moves. Jump on them right now. Their season starts once again against the Chicago Sky this Saturday. Now, women's soccer, the Washington Spirit, their season now begins this Sunday at the Orlando Pride at 6 p.m. So Sunday, DC United plays Orlando City at home at 8 p.m. and the Washington Spirit play at the Orlando Pride at 6 p.m. The game can be seen on Paramount Plus, and Alex Ovechkin has officially become an investor in the Washington Spirit, joining Chelsea Clinton, Jenna Bush Hager, former U.S. Women's National Team goalkeeper Brianna Scurry. So very, very high-profile people are joining the investor group for the Spirit. Great money in there. And also high expectations for the Washington Spirit this season. Future GOAT of U.S. Women's Soccer, Trinity Rodman, is there. And then finally, we're going to conclude with the Washington Capitals. Speaking of Alex Ovechkin, the regular season is officially over. We finished in second place in the East Division, and we have now earned a date with the Boston Bruins. And that's where we're going to shift our attention to our playoff preview, brought to you by our very own Matt Regan. What are your thoughts on the matchup here, Matt?
It's playoff hockey time. Gentlemen, potentially, and I would make the case that it is the best sporting event that there is. The NHL playoffs, they're fierce, they're intense. We don't have to go on that debate today. That being said, we're ready to get going. It was a great season. Caps, who I think are in the toughest division in hockey, came in second. I think that's a good spot to be in. Unfortunately for them, they're face to face with the Bruins, who were in real trouble before the trade deadline to pick up former MVP and Taylor Hall, have been on fire. You know who they're led by. It's the same guys. It's Brad Marchand. It's David Krejci. It's David Pasternak. It's Patrice Bergeron. And Charlie McAvoy, who is really taking that step into a Norris Trophy consideration defenseman on the back end, Tuukka Rask. It's the same cast of characters plus Taylor Hall. It's a great team. They have a great power play. They have great penalty kill. They're just a well-rounded team. Adding in Taylor Hall really bumps up that second line, which has long been an issue for them. They said they're just a one-line wonder. Now they got two great lines going. David Krejci has had a long career. He's really stepped up. So they are a great team. That being said, by no means are they the favorite in the series. You got to give the nod to the Caps. They have the better power play. They sell the veteran Nick Backstrom. You know the crew. It's. I mean, these two cores have been going against each other now for 8 years. The one wild card that switched spots last year is Zdeno Chara. Moved over to the Caps. He was kind of thought of as a veteran presence that comes in late. He's had a great season. So the only thing you got to worry about as a Caps fan is the goaltender situation. It's kind of been the known issue all season. I don't think Samsonov and the backup have really answered any questions.
His name
or Vanacek. Go ahead, LC.
I said his name is backup.
But I don't think they've answered a ton of questions. I saw they both have a .908 save percentage, which isn't terrible, but it's not great. So Tuukka Rask, he's won Vezina trophies before, so he's proven. Brad Marchand's a proven playoff performer. It's definitely a good matchup, but I think I favor the Caps. You would definitely prefer to be the Penguins right now, the 1 seed. The only bad team, I wouldn't say bad team, but the Islanders are really struggling going into the playoffs, so it would have been nice to get that 1 seed and play them. Other than that, you select the Caps. They've been steady Eddie all season. They haven't had big hot streaks, bad cold streaks. Bruins are just a little bit hotter at the moment.
I got a question as someone who never watches hockey.
Go on.
How the hell do you know that a team is better at the power play? Is that just a stat? Like they convert more often?
Exactly.
Okay. And so like, can you, if you know you're better at the power play, do you like try to provoke some, like, is there a way to,
that question.
Like, is there a way to like, make that happen?
In theory, there are ways you can do it. It's kind of like in basketball. If you want to get fouled, you go to the hoop. In hockey,
Sure. Okay.
you know, if you want to drive to the net, if you want to make moves that are intentionally forcing a defender to make a, you know, put someone in a tough position, that is a way. That being said, I've never really heard a coach talking about that.
Well, hold on. They have a foolproof way. You send Tommy Wilson out on the ice, and someone's going to just deck him. Yeah. He's the coolest athlete, right? I mean, he's just so cool. Kadeen, right? He can do flippies on skates.
No. Chase Young's the coolest because he has a cool car. Anyways,
so there's no
way.
Was
that sarcasm? is that what I was sensing? Sarcasm?
I love Chase Young, sponsored by Under Armour. He's a beast. Listen, I do love
Chase Young. Under Armour too?
I'm not downplaying Under Armour. I said it's cool. I'm rocking Under Armour right now. Anyway, hey, listen, real quick.
Can't get the sarcasm. I don't know where the meter is right now. I'm feeling very defensive.
The gas shortage, it still got you going. Listen, Matt, question. Taylor Hall, I was looking at his stats. Looks like he was on pace, if you were just to extrapolate his time with the Boston Bruins, for like 40 goals on the season. Like, he's playing really, really well. He only had 2 goals through 37 games in Buffalo. And then, 14 or 16 games, he's got 8 goals and 6 assists or something like that for the Bruins. Is he really, like, that good? Has he always been that good? What's the deal with him?
Former number 1 overall pick, great with the Oilers, got traded to the Devils in a 1-for-1 deal 4 years ago. And, you know, his one thing is he's only made the playoff 1 time. That's what the Devils, he took him to the playoffs. He's always been an elite player. Went to the Coyotes last year. And kind of similar. I mean, he's always been on losing teams. That's his thing. This is the first time he's been on a good
the Russell
franchise.
Westbrook of hockey. That's what it sounds like.
He's not.
Russell Westbrook at least went to the finals at some point.
Yeah, he's not that good. He's not. But
probably the Matt Stafford. How does that sound?
Yeah. The Matt Stafford.
I need a ref.
So he's always been on bad teams. And finally gets traded to a great team like Boston, who was struggling. I thought they were the best team preseason. They were struggling. Taylor Hall is in there, really gives them a boost, and they've been real hot ever since the trade deadline, and he's been a big reason for that.
Well, also the Caps have my fear, you know, being a Caps fan, because you get invested and then you get nervous once it's playoff time. We got a bunch of guys banged up. So like John Carlson's banged up, for example, Alex Ovechkin's banged up. Kuznetsov's been on this COVID protocol list for 10, 11 days now. We have no idea what the heck's going on with him.
He probably just got it.
Well, I don't think so, because he was also fined and suspended just before this happened. And then they just sort of threw him on this list. He got in trouble earlier in the season too, in January, playing video games in the room with the masks off. And that was $100K fine for the Caps. So I don't know. I'm wearing a shirt right now. I'm hoping he can play because he's a beast. He really is, but I don't know what's going on. I'm nervous he may just miss the series.
Yeah, and the Caps have not gone on a good run. Like, if you remember their run, yes, Ovi was good, Backstrom was good, but Kuznetsov really took his game to the next level, so I think they need him.
Yeah, and the beauty of playoff hockey, though, is that it can be so random, and you just get hot at the right time, and it's everyone right now winless. You never know. Best of 7. What's your prediction, Matt?
I've got Caps in 7.
Caps in 7. All right. How's everybody else feeling? LC, you don't watch hockey. What you got? Best of 7 series. What you got?
4-2 Caps.
Okay. Caps in 6.
Very confident prediction.
I'm going to toss it to Kadeen. What's up?
Straight out of math.
How many rounds are there in playoff hockey?
4.
It's the usual, just like NBA.
Got it. So I won't be paying attention. I'm just going to say they win.
It all?
You want to throw?
He just wants to know.
Look, it is the thing.
To know how many weeks we got of
There's
this.
certain sports that I'm like, it depends on where I'm jumping in, right? Basketball, jump in around the playoffs. Baseball, jump in around the playoffs, but kind of in the playoffs, right? Hockey, if I find out my team has like one more game to go before they're in the championship, I'll tune in. I'm in. I'm all in.
Until the ice
the
is too cold.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, I can't get down with a team that supports a psychopath trying to murder people on the ice and Tom Wilson. But
They don't support him. They just employ him.
illegal.
It's different. Spencer, what you got?
Easily, they win in 5. So they're going to drop one game straight through.
I'll go Caps in 7. It's a homer pick. I am nervous about this series, but I do think that the Caps will prevail. They got a lot of experience, and I think things will sort itself out. I think the players are just going to get up for it. It's nice to have Zdeno Chara. It's nice to have coolest DC athlete Tom Wilson. And Alex Ovechkin's just a fucking stud, man. That dude just does not slow down. Absolutely love him. Now, Tom Wilson fights a fuck ton. He really does. He seeks it out. And we were talking last week, Elsie was bringing it up, and there was just a sort of small comment where he said, what if fighting was allowed in other sports? And we wanted to explore that today. Okay, so let's say you could take one sport and you could suddenly allow fighting to it. Elsie, it looks like you want to get started. What sport would that – oh, I'm excited for this. What sport would that be, Elsie? 2 sports.
I have 2. I'm sorry, I'm breaking the rules. The first one is, as a soccer player my whole life, it has to be soccer because motherfuckers are just diving all the time. They're pretending like their foot got chopped off. And I would like to, if somebody pretends like their foot got chopped off, I would like to be able to punch them in the face and then be like, now you have something to cry about. You know, somebody's just rolling just 30 feet as if, like, I don't know, they just got hit by a truck. Then you should be able to go ahead and kick them in the stomach and say, like, now you can keep rolling. And I would love to just make that pain real as opposed to all the drama that these people put us through, which I don't want to see. And then they just get up immediately when they realize there was no foul call. The second one, I think, would be a little bit more fun. And I think it's on any track event, maybe like the 400, the 800. If you were allowed one push a race, just one push, you can't just be pushing the whole time, but you're allowed one push a race. And I would love to know, who do you push and when do you push them? So, like, I'm thinking, if you're ahead, you can push the guy behind you. So there's a little bit of a domino effect. Or do you wait until like the last 100 meters and you know, you're going to push the guy who's winning? If you know that the guy ahead of you has a push left, do you sort of play with that? Because like, he's going to push the guy who's number 1. So you push guy number 2. I think
it depends on what lane you're in, right? Because a 400, I think you're in your own lane. So if you're in lane 2, push the guy in lane 3, hope for that domino effect, right? And so then at least you're getting silver. At least you're getting silver. I would, at the Olympics, if some guy just, I'd
get one push.
That's allowed. The commentators, like, that's just very strategic. Love that move. 200 meters in, should secure silver. I think that would be fantastic.
I mean, you probably get a lot of scraped knees, I would say, at least. But whatever.
I think about track. Kadeen, what you got?
So literally, that was the first thing I thought about when it was track and field or racing of some sort. It was like, but then it was like, all right, is this fighting in the sense of like getting some aggression out, or is this fighting in the sense of it changes the aspect of the game or whatever like sporting hockey, event, like right? Exactly. So it's like with track and field, I thought about it and I said that like if I was in a race, I'd pick up whoever's in the lane next to me and try to throw them at the other guys because I know they're probably going to be able to make up ground on me. Like if it was me racing, but I'm going to try to hurt them in the process. They can't get back. I'm going to do it real early.
this is not. There's like no provocation, right? You just.
No, I'm looking
Seems
next
like
to
a
him
nice guy. Just fuck him up.
Hey, John. Look, man, I've watched you run. Great guy. I'm about to fuck your life up. But it's just for the race, all right, brother? Like that's kind of where it would be.
Dude, just imagine DK Metcalf, right? Didn't he try the 100 meters? If he could push someone,
something, like,
he wins. He's the greatest sprinter in the world if he's allowed to do that.
But I think looking at it, I went with the like over aggression. We're gonna allow these guys to do it, and I thought the sport that made the most sense to me was football. And the reason I'm thinking football is you're not allowed to. We allow them to fight, but they can't take off their equipment.
Right.
So there's an element of football right now where, look, all of us, regardless of concussion or anything, still take a look at Sean Taylor highlights of the biggest hits in the NFL history. We all love those videos, right? And now that they've kind of eliminated that aspect of football, what we can do now is this another, all right, here's another violent thing that we can really do. But these guys aren't really at risk unless you got some idiot that wants to like punch somebody in a helmet. But then that's on you, bro. But it's like we could wrestle around, do some things to get this thing to be a little more violent. Like if Cortland Finnegan and Andre Johnson could have actually, like, if they could have just said, "Hey, just let them have a few moments," that would have been amazing. It would have been absolutely amazing.
So like, what do you think of hockey where they take off the helmet to fight, right? Because they actually do that.
That's what makes hockey so weird. It's
so
like it's really weird. It's like. Even when the Caps, when whoever was the Caps and the what was it, the Rangers? They lined up, and they just lined up, and you can see them talking like we're just gonna do this. It feels like it's such a show. Like nobody's actually doing anything. Sometimes it just feels here's this theatrical thing that we do, and this, and it's like, come on,
You want a real fight?
I want a real fight. I want like a baseball fight. I want a fight.
I would agree with that. I think. To be honest, I think they've removed a lot of like the stage fights where sometimes you just have guys that they know what's coming. But I think there's an essence of fighting in each other that is a like you hit my guy and now you have to pay the price. So that's why I think football makes the most sense, because in most ways, if a defender hits a defenseless receiver going across the middle, there's no retribution for that. There might be a fine, there might be a flag, but you're not really gonna hit him where it hurts.
On court.
It would be nice if an O-line could just go up like, hey, dude, we're going. And like that would be sick. And then you see the safety who's like, giving up like 80 pounds on this O-lineman just and he probably won't hit guys, defenseless receivers anymore. And it would be a little bit of stuff
play calling. It's like he's not going for a blitz anymore.
You could have a fight.
Actually,
it would probably be done for like that series. That's probably their time penalty. Like you guys can't play anymore this series. Come back. It's worth it for them, and boom.
They would probably just do the hit anyway and then just sprint out.
But I would say you should probably have to take your helmet off.
I don't agree with taking the helmet off, but there is.
Well, I think you have to, because you have to declare that it's a fight. Otherwise, it's just a personal foul, right?
No, you look at the ref, say, "I'm gonna fuck this guy," and then like the ref.
And he just goes, "Okay, cool." He throws like a green flag or something. He's like, he's about to knock your ass out.
There are three positions that should be allowed to either opt in or opt out of being able to fight. So quarterback, I mean, they're the face of the league. Kicker and punter. So you can get guys like Ben Roethlisberger to be like, all right, I want in. Phillip Rivers would want in. Like you'd have some of these guys be like, hey, I'm opting in this game. And you're like, you can fight me. I just think that there's a certain element of this could be really, really fun.
I think here's what should happen. Overtime should go back to sudden death. And there's no coin toss. If you get to overtime, the punters fight each other. And whoever wins, that team gets the ball. And OT is sudden death, so you can kick a field goal. Oh, no, you know what? The kickers fight each other. Because then if they have to kick a field goal after a fight, that would be hysterical.
But let's take it one step. Let's take it one step further. Let's go to the actual sudden death. Whoever loses a player first, whoever dies,
if you can't stand up, you will lose.
And yeah, exactly. Like it's whoever. If you can't get up, if one of your players can't get up, then the game is over.
That's it. Oh, wow, so there's no even overtime.
We just went back like 2,000 years.
Between the kickers.
You all start at your goal lines and you charge forward and you just,
You just see the kickers sweating balls. You're like, oh God.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a formal announcement right now. If the NFL changes these rules, the Washington football team would like to formally announce James Harrison as the
new kicker.
Oh, that is true. You would just
get a rare.
Yeah.
So I've got a sport that I don't even watch, but I put a lot of thought into this. And at first I was thinking it's got to be soccer. I think that it would be great for their image, where you could have guys pop up and, just like Elsie said, fight, duke it out. It'd be great. But I think as far as a sport that no one watches, that all of a sudden would vault to the top.
I know where you're going.
I don't know if you do, honestly.
I want you all.
I want you all to close your eyes. I want you to imagine pristine waters and sailboats cruising for America's Cup. And now you're thinking to yourself, what are all of these rich white people doing as they're sailing their boats? And then all of a sudden, crews of fucking pirates start piling off of one sailboat onto another. It is chaos. People are just, they're punching holes in their boat to sink them. They're throwing things over the deck. They're throwing people over the deck. And it would be incredible. America's Cup, professional sailing would become the most incredible sporting event. That or the Iditarod. I just love the idea of people slugging each other as they go by with dogs. Just some great sports that no one pays attention to that could really be viable with fighting.
I want to know, how are the pirates related to the players? Like, do you as a player hire a certain type of pirates to hit other players?
And are they in pirate gear?
Are they in
they'd have to be in pirate gear. But say that you have a crew of 8 and you have to decide, like, are we going to send 4 or 5 of our crew over to try and punch holes in the ship?
Well, they have to.
Do modern day pirates, do they still wear old timey pirate gear? Or has that been updated?
In Captain
Modern
Phillips, they
pirates,
did. Yeah, they did.
It was old timey.
It's usually they wear whatever the losing Super Bowl team is. They wear their Super Bowl champion.
All the paraphernalia that they printed
penny
out,
loafers.
they just have to give it.
So it would have been better if the Buccaneers lost, because then they would have been the Buccaneers.
Right.
That would have been cool.
Yeah.
Oh, instead they're all wearing Chiefs gear. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Look, when you told me to close my eyes and look at that pristine thing, I felt like I was in the movie Get Out for a second. It made me very uncomfortable, like thinking about all the white people on the yachts. So I'd like to make an amendment. What I want to do is not affiliated with any team in particular. I just want them to have to go through pirate waters of like.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
They have to go. Like, all right, you're sailing now, but it's across the Horn of Somalia. Like,
yeah.
We're changing it up.
There's some
and the league actually pays more people in Somalia to become pirates to stop these sailboats
promoting
to
the
go
economy.
through.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, this seems like a win-win. Now, when I was thinking about my sport, I was trying to think about sports that involve like just a heavy mental aspect to it. So initially I thought, and it's not a sport, but I was just thinking about a chessboard, right? Some
chess is considered a sport by some definition.
Okay, so you make a move, you move your bishop or something, like that, and the other guy.
It's weird. It never comes up in State of the Union.
We don't have a team, and just slugs the dude. But I think the best sport to incorporate fighting would be golf. So the reason I think golf is because it's already an incredibly difficult sport, right? You need to focus on your mechanics. You need to be completely at peace in your mind. And if someone can just knock you the fuck out while you're walking to your next shot, then you're hurt and you got to refocus. And
but would it be that you could physically brawl someone?
Oh yeah. But
or are you hitting golf balls?
So it cannot be mid-shot. It cannot be. No, you can physically brawl with somebody. So think Happy Gilmore. Think Happy Gilmore. Only sucker punch. It's Happy Gilmore. Okay, with the Bob Barker. Okay, with Adam Sandler.
The Price is Wrong.
And the Price is Wrong, bitch. And as you're walking to your next shot, that's brawl territory. You are able to do that. You're allowed to start up to 3 brawls per, I guess, tournament.
Yeah, I think that the limiting thing is key, because that will make, like, honestly, all the commentary will be on, like, is he gonna use one now? Like, is this a good time?
That's like, that's the voice they're gonna use. That's the voice they're gonna use, right? It's such a call. So I was thinking about the commentary as well, and I was like, this would be brilliant if the dude just got hit across the jaw, and then, now he still has to take this next shot, and he's just 2 strokes away from winning the whole thing. It gets interesting.
Think of the stats, right? There could be like, oh, this guy post-fight is just like -2 on the last season. Like, before fights, he's getting bogeys. And like after a fight, he's just fucking birdie after birdie.
It makes golf the ultimate sport to me, because the mental game is already there. And it doubles down on it. And
hold on, would you also enforce the silence rules during the fight? So they still have to comment on a whispering voice?
Yes, they have to.
You have to.
It's quite.
That is a brilliant jab.
So the golf thing actually reminds me of something I did like maybe
this
about 10
reminds you of something. Go ahead.
It does remind me.
Go ahead.
Way down in Virginia, we're at a golf course, and it's
This
like
is all
dead.
checking out.
It's completely dead. So we decided, I hate golf. We decided that, I decided that what we do is, guys, it's so stupid. We decided we're going to play, it was like a bumper carts to a certain degree, but you could use your golf clubs. Basically, if you could make the other person's golf cart immovable, then you won automatically. But you couldn't do it unless you were moving from hole to hole. So just us chasing each other, swinging fucking golf clubs in each other's golf. It was kind of fun. It was a lot of fun, actually, looking back at it. And if we could fight too,
there you go.
I'd be.
You might still be playing golf today. And
I might be gonna go.
Yeah, here's one more thing I thought of. Here's one more thing I thought of, and then Matt, I'd like to hear yours because I could talk about this all day. I would like sort of a timer as soon as like a countdown. As soon as the fight is over, you have 3 minutes to take your next shot. So the commentary goes, and he's like, "Oh, just got hit right." And it's quiet, and he's like, "Now he has 3 minutes to get up."
Would you start hiring like caddies that have some like nursing ability? Like they have they have some first aid,
like a boxing trainer.
They got the magic spray from soccer and stuff.
Do you think
like
that it would change the athlete profile, like more and more like huge guys that really can't hit the ball, but they're just sensational at slugging people?
They would be hired by other golfers that are really good as A, protection,
goons,
and B, to be able to take out the competition.
So the golfers themselves are not fighting.
No, they should.
I feel like
they are. They are. They are registering as golfers, so they have to be strong and just good enough to qualify for the Masters. Right. And then they just fuck up the competition for like Jordan Spieth, for example.
Because I'm just saying, if you look at the average golfer right now, those fights are going to be trash. Just how it would be absolute trash.
But it will
are those golfers like kind of jacked now?
Now they're getting there, but it was like overall.
Like Rory McIlroy, I mean, he's like 5'6", but he is jacked.
Yeah. I like Neeses to exist now. This is too real in my head at this point. Matt, what you got?
I thought about this few ways. I mean, my first option I'd say would be football because I think it's so natural already that they're going at each other so much, and sometimes they just need a little bit, just like refs, get away. We're going to settle this ourselves. I think there's some natural things. It's already happened in games a lot. Just kind of let it happen. Let them sit down for a bit. I think the game, in some ways, could be cleaner in the long run. That being said, I would say along the track and field, but maybe I think the next level, I would say swimming. Dude, if you can you're getting pissed and you're just like, you know what? You're done. And you just go at it, middle of the pool. It's like Olympic depth. It's like, which is like 20 feet or whatever. Boom, go at it. It's very similar. There are similarly things to track, but it's going to be mano a mano, just like a little chicken fight in the middle. You duke it out. And honestly, it could go back to that sudden death thing. You never know.
You just drown him. I'm just imagining like you're in lane 1. The dude you want to mess up is in lane 5. You go across.
Well, because he's coming back. He's coming back to you. He's coming. You want to mess up. He's coming back to you.
You're behind so much. You're like, I'll meet you there.
Michael Phelps in the turn. There's just a line of guys.
Yeah, just all socking.
They're all there.
Just like he's coming back. He ain't got nowhere else to go. He's coming back this way.
Yeah. And
like Red Rover.
I mean, swimming I assume is like baseball. You can't leave the base path. You can't just swerve out the way.
No. So you're maintaining the lane.
That is an active choice.
But you only allow switching for fighting.
Correct.
What is your reward for winning the fight?
Life.
The other guy is not in the race anymore.
You're still breathing, baby.
Yeah.
Fresh air. Yeah.
I think it's pretty clear what the reward is.
I've got another one. How about the Tour de France? Oh man, can you imagine just like they're all just blood doping and they're just like it's road rash. They're just socking each other off of each other's
but
bikes.
they have no upper body strength, so they're just gonna have to kick out super kicks.
Yeah, right, little kickouts.
Or they just crash into each other.
It probably happens a little bit already in like the lower levels of racing for sure. I'm willing to bet that happens a little bit. Yeah, no one's gonna know. Like
There's no camera.
Like yeah, I think that happens.
Yeah, do they have refs on that kind of thing?
I mean, they got to be cycling too, right? Just hit the ref.
Sure they have some.
He ain't catching up.
So I think if we're really looking at this as like a legitimate debate, there is a winner of these. Like a legitimate standpoint, I think football is actually the winner. Because I mean, you just killed you drowned Michael Phelps. Golfers are just stalking each other in the back of the heads. I think
mine makes the sport better.
I get it, but the only one that fundamentally I don't think changes the sport all that much, and you could have this thing exist, is honestly football.
What about pirate waters, Kadeen? I don't understand.
Whoa. That's something that I'm going to start putting together illegally myself, all right?
We're making some phone calls.
The great pirate sale.
The great pirate, it's going to be like Cannonball Run of the ocean.
I do think that in soccer, if you could make the ref, like if the ref decides this player has just faked an injury or has just faked, being hit, then he allows a player from the other team to deliver a real punch.
What if he just punches? What if he punches?
Yeah. Or the ref, or just the ref. I would like that too.
That would be fun. I like that. A yellow card and dude just a suck.
And then as he gets up, gives him a yellow.
You just have to knock him out. Like, you don't need to end this guy's life. You just need to give him a solid a half step punch to the face. He's not. There's gonna be no more embellishment, no more dead.
I tell you what, I think this was a fantastic segment. I really enjoyed the various ideas we had over here. I'm probably going to rabbit hole into this stuff a bit later. But anyway, for now, let's move on to our last official segment of the day, which is that, and Spencer, I believe your breaking news here is Taco Bell Cantina in fact opening. I've been scouring social media. I don't see anything on it.
Right. Well, I'm just going to use a joke that's been thrown around the internet, with this gas crisis. You can get all the gas you need by just going to your local Taco Bell. And there is one officially opening right down the street in Columbia Heights. It's on 14th and Irving, right by Lou's. And it is not only a Taco Bell, gentlemen. It is a Taco Bell
Cantina.
Which means
do they sell
gas?
Booze.
Oh, shit.
And gas.
Yeah.
Well, depending on what type of gas. But Taco Bell is officially opening. Big news. There's only one other in the entire district. I think it's at Union Station.
There's one Union Station. There's one on New York Avenue as well, just a bit further out. So wait, is it officially open right now?
It opens on Saturday.
Okay. Opens on
Dollar bet. 1 week before 2 people are shot in that Taco Bell.
I actually am not taking that bet with you. I agree.
Just saying.
That's probably going to happen.
And cheap tacos,
you open on 14th and Irving.
Street.
Yeah, and that's your business model. Yeah, I agree. It's going to be a bit risky. So pick your time accordingly to go, because I will definitely be there. But what we are now going to discuss is there are many food chains here in DC, but what's one that's outside of DC that you wish was in here right now? Matt, you went last on the previous segment. Why don't you go first here?
Well, I just saying, I am pumped for Taco Bell. I do think that a Crunchwrap Supreme is the best fast food item in the entire country. So good. That being said, which food chain now that Taco Bell is closer to me? I would say, and I was kind of going on a bit, what do I think? Do I go fast food? Do I go chain restaurant? Whatever. I'm not even a big steak guy. I don't think it's the main thing, but I would really go for a Bloomin' Onion, and I want an Outback Steakhouse near me. That's my choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Outback Steakhouse, just for the Bloomin' Onion. Is there anything else about it? Any other redeeming quality, or is it just that?
No, just that. That's really all I want. That's all I want. Yeah.
Pretty
I want an Outback
there.
Steakhouse. I want one right next to the Taco Bell.
I've never been to an Outback Steakhouse, so I don't really have an opinion on it, but that sounds good. What about you guys? Have you guys been to an Outback Steakhouse before?
I lived in suburban Virginia. Yes.
Okay, so yes,
and
you.
There were 5 next to Kadeen.
There was, as a matter of fact, like, all right, we want to order Outback Takeout. Oh shit, which one of the 4 am I going to? But Texas Roadhouse over Outback. Just putting that out there.
We never had that.
Okay.
I'll take it. Man, I'll take a steakhouse. Being from Argentina, I'm still in search of a good steak. But
you will not find it at Outback Steakhouse.
Yeah, that's not.
Okay, to be fair though, like there is an Argentinian restaurant not too far from here that I've gone to, and it has pretty good food. And it's not like home, but it's pretty good.
Where's that?
It's in Rockville. It's called El Patio, which means like, patio.
It means the patio.
Shout out El Patio, which means the patio.
There's more connotation in Argentine Spanish for what a patio is. But anyway,
make yourself a straw.
All right, I'll see. What
you got?
What do you got? What's your favorite chain in general?
Here's the thing. Like my only other experience is living in Ohio, and so I would say it's a place called Raising Cane's, which is fried chicken. And when you show up to the drive-through, they don't say, "Hi, what do you want?" or like, "What's your order?" They actually ask you, hot chicken, what combo you picking? And so I just think that additional interaction, I would just love that interaction.
Okay.
You didn't go for Skyline chili?
I don't know what that is. I just
What?
went there and
You lived in Ohio?
Yeah, I don't
That's
know
like
what
their
that is.
big. That is their big thing. It's like shitty chili over spaghetti.
Shitty chili. That
Is
doesn't
that
sound something I would go to.
Kadeen sounds? Looks like you've been there. Is that a good recap of what it is?
I've never been, but that is basically anytime I've heard of Skyline chili, there's always somebody randomly in the pub. Oh, that shitty thing they put over the spaghetti. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I've
been there.
That. No,
I think it's more of a Cincinnati thing. I don't know where you're.
No, I was in Columbus, dead middle,
Ooh.
and north in Cleveland. So, but I've never been to Cincy actually.
So it's called Raising Cane's, is that right?
Yeah, and they have a great sauce which is creatively called Cane's sauce.
Okay.
But I think if you have to walk in, don't do it. But if you get to do the drive-through where they say hot chicken, what combo you pick, and then do it. That's a recommendation.
So only that audio flavor is.
That's
proof.
it.
So
Yeah,
if it doesn't
it's that
come in
interaction.
with that audio,
I would if I pull to the drive-through and you don't say that, I'm driving forward,
Right.
not ordering anything.
causing a car wreck as well, doesn't matter.
I don't
It's in
care.
front of you. Yeah.
I'm here for the sentence. That's it.
Goddamn outrage. Spencer, what you got?
Well, the obvious California pick and Arizona, I guess, would be In-N-Out. It's very good if you have not all had it. It's delicious. Good quality burgers. But, I burned down on it. I'll go grab one like when I go back this summer. But I actually personally, I would, not to just totally shit on all of the kind of Mexican El Salvadorian places. It seems like those combos are the ones that are in DC. I would love just like a street taco Mexican taco place. They're a dime a dozen in the best way in California, $1.65 per taco. They have, 4 or 5 choices. That's it. No fish tacos, just, it's just your chicken beef. And they're just sensational. And, you get a little lime and some cilantro and onions and you're out the door and good. I'm really surprised that is not everywhere in the United States because it is just the ultimate food to eat. It's inexpensive and it's so tasty. But DC just does not have
It's really that
tacos.
cheap? $1.65?
$1.65.
Yeah, okay,
Or
so
taco.
let me just jump on that because that's basically my answer too. So I've been to Austin a few times in Texas, and the places that always stick out to me are the breakfast taco places. And one of them is called Torchy's. That's the one I just came to my mind at the time. And it's all over the country, but it's not here in DC. And breakfast tacos are awesome. They are cheap, they are delicious, and they just make me happy. I feel like they should definitely be here in DC. Don't even put it next to the Taco Bell. You can put it wherever you want to. It's going to be successful. I've talked to so many people about this. No one knows why these cheaper taco places just don't exist. That's why people love Taco Bell as well. But there's even better quality out there.
Do you
Torchy's-
think Taco
there's
Bell?
even better quality than Taco Bell?
Unbelievably.
If
There's
you can
even
believe
better-
it.
No, you don't understand. Listen, I love Taco Bell. Despite what Kadeen said, the dollar bet, I didn't even take it. I was like, yes, someone's going to get shot. And I'm like, I'll still be there.
I love Taco Bell.
Do you think Taco Bell has like some sort of like taco mafia that they don't allow these cheap taco places?
A Tafia? Yeah, I'm sure they do.
Like,
Yeah.
why don't we see these?
I want to hear Kadeen's answer.
Hold on, what was your pick, Spencer?
Taco
Just
trucks.
a taco, like a street taco
He
place.
didn't name a specific
Not a
place.
chain.
He didn't
Doesn't
name it.
answer the
Doesn't
question.
care.
He wants tacos.
I basically, he jumped onto my answer. The place is called Torchy's. We both agreed Torchy's.
You're speaking to a guy whose fast food means a lot. I mean, so like I've been on. I started a petition that like there are certain fast food restaurants that shouldn't be allowed to show commercials in our area if I've got to drive 100 miles to go there. It's extremely annoying. So like. It used to be that way for Sonic. It was like, why the fuck are you showing me a Sonic commercial?
Exactly.
And there's no chance I can go to goddamn Sonic. Now, there's one place that does show commercials locally, sometimes, every once in a while, that I do wish was there, and it's kind of along the same reasons. The reason I asked Spencer for clarification is that Jack in the Box is tied for my pick on a place that
Right.
needs to be
Interesting.
here, because Jack in the Box, you can get a burger and a taco together.
Yeah.
It's an amazing thing.
You don't see those out here. I just thought about that. Yeah.
It sucks, but if we're talking about another chain, Del Taco as well could definitely be something that runs in. Now, those are the ones that you should really be paying attention to, like those two, because of the taco game. And look, but my real answer for what it is, number one, is Whataburger. I just
That's a good pick.
it's just like I hate ketchup. I'm a person that usually hates ketchup. I think ketchup is food for people that just don't have palates, so they want everything that tastes like red candy. So they just pour that shit. That's why kids love it so goddamn much.
Well, and the worst example of a ketchup eater is ex-president Donald Trump, who liked his steaks extra well done with ketchup on it.
Which ketchup? Because at that point, you just want to eat ketchup. So just forego the meal and squeeze fucking Heinz in your mouth. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But there's one ketchup that I will actually stand for, and it's the Whataburger spicy ketchup. They put spices all up in the ketchup, and it makes it something special. It's just special. I mean, Whataburger, like the food's gonna be good if they're based out of Texas more than anything else. I mean, Texas is just known for it. So Whataburger is probably just my number one pick, just because every once in a while I just crave something from them. But I can get with the Del Taco Jack in the Box thing, man. Tacos are good. Tacos are so good.
Fucking good.
So, Kadeen, where is the nearest Whataburger?
Yeah,
in proximity. Should we all go right now?
I think it's Texas. But here's wow, you guys got me like thinking now, because now I'm thinking about have you guys ever heard of Buc-ee's?
No.
Buc-ee's is basically the Wawa or Sheetz of Texas. Now, Buc-ee's is the size of a Walmart. They have no less than 100 pumps. They serve their own food. It's like a whole thing, but it's literally just a gas station.
Can you get a gun?
I think you probably could.
Of course.
But like, I've ordered stuff from Buc-ee. Strangely enough, like my last three girlfriends were all born in Texas. And there's one thing about a Texan is they'll never let you fucking forget that they're from Texas. And we had to order. They were right about some things, man. Buc-ee's doesn't quite count, but if they could bring one around here, it'd be pretty awesome.
Okay, all right.
I want to jump into that real quick. 3 different girls from Texas.
Yeah,
is that your type?
Yeah, that seemed like a thing you just sort of threw in there that needs to be.
So
the have on Tinder like must be from Texas or?
Well, my girlfriend right now was technically born in Dallas, but moved when she was like 1. So she doesn't really.
Huge Cowboys fan.
Me and her almost broke up last NFL playoffs because I'm not going to get into it. But and then the girlfriend before that one, the one who was clinically a sociopath. I hope she's watching now. No, you couldn't do anything. Texas. Nobody asked you anything about Texas. Texas.
You just say it. What about during sex? Would you just say Texas?
She said howdy once.
That counts. That counts for sure. That's the same.
Oh my God. All right. Anyway, on that note, guys, I think that's going to wrap this segment up because that's a hell of a way to exit. I am Amit Singh. That's Matt Regan. That's LC. That's Kadeen Wiggins, aka K. And that is Spencer Brudig. Thank you so much for listening to District Divided. If you like it, please like the video, subscribe, do all that stuff. We're finally saying that stuff now officially. So, and if you have a comment, feel free to just drop it down there. Talk shit to us. I don't care. We'll talk back. We'll clap back. Don't you worry about it. Anyway, y'all have a blessed day. Have a blessed week, and we will see you next Thursday. Take it easy, fellas.